Morning! Story time. So, I just want to recommend an amazing book that has literally catapulted my thinking and helped me to change my life to some degree in a very positive way. And the book is Radical Acceptance: Embracing Your Life with the Heart of Buddha by Tara Brach. Now, you don't have to be Buddhist or study Buddhism or any type of religion to read the book. It just is a great book and it has great concepts. So I'm gonna tell a story. So I had an eyebrow appointment, which means I was just gonna get my eyebrows threaded. And you know how us girlies like to get our eyebrows done. I feel like the eyebrows change the entire face. Anyway, I had this appointment and I made it well in advance. My girl gets really busy, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make this appointment. I've been to her one other time before this time, and it was very spaced out. I probably haven't gone back in like 6 weeks. So I made this appointment, and I wake up that morning. I have such a great morning. I go to a coffee shop. I'm sitting there reading my book, and I'm just relaxing, great service. The vibe is nice. It's like a little rainy day, a little chilly, but just all around great vibe. I'm feeling myself this morning. Everything's just going so well, and I don't like to be late. I like to be on time, and I've been practicing giving myself time to get to places, giving myself time to get ready. I hate being in that element and aura of rush. So I gave myself plenty of time. I went to coffee shop, set myself up really nice to just have a good day. I leave the coffee shop feeling nice, refreshed, calm. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to be really early for this appointment, at least 10 minutes early, 5 to 10 minutes early. So I open up the link, click on it, go to the appointment. Driving there, I'm like, dang, this does not look familiar. I'm just driving though. I'm like, let me check the link that she gave me. Okay, address is right. It just doesn't look familiar. Like, Anyways, driving, I get there. I have to pay for parking. And I'm like, I did not pay for parking the last time I saw her. But, we're just going to go with it. I pay for parking. Nothing crazy, like $3 for like an hour or something, an hour and a half. And I go in this building, and it's like it's like maybe like a 5-story building. And it's like attached to a post office on one side. Anyways, I park, I go across the street. I'm like looking like, dang, this does not look familiar at all. But you know what? I got a great parking spot right in front. Cool. And I'm looking at my time, and 5 minutes to get to up wherever she's located. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm still early. I look at the directory because there's elevators, and I'm like, I wonder where she could be. I'm looking, and I see something beauty. And I'm like, okay, that has to be it. So I go and I look at, okay, 3rd floor. Boom. Hit the elevator button to go up. Waiting for the elevator. And I'm like, dang. I'm going to like literally make it like on time. Waiting for the elevator. Elevator is slow. I was just like, all right. Waiting. Still waiting. And by this time, I'm going to be exactly on time for my appointment. If my appointment is at 1:15, it is exactly 1:15 at this point. So I go, and I'm like waiting. Finally, the elevator opens up. I go to the 3rd floor because that's where the beauty sign was. So I go to the 3rd floor, and it's empty. There's like a door. And then the door to my left, immediate left, when I go get off of the elevator, it's like leading to the outside. And then there's other doors. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just get off the elevator, walk around, and see if I can find the door that says beauty. So I'm walking around, and I'm like, dang, there's nobody here. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just text her. Nothing. I have 0 service. I'm like, let me try calling her. You think a call is going to go through? Absolutely not. Call does not go through. So now I'm like getting a little frustrated because it's like now I'm late. At this point, I came early and had all intentions to be early, and now I'm late. 5 minutes, 6 minutes late. And I'm like, wow, this is ridiculous. So I'm like, oh, I gotta take the elevator back down. And there's no directory. There's not another directory on this third floor. It's just like, man, where is she? Where's this beauty? And I'm looking around. There's no one there. And I'm like, you know what? Let me try to get on the elevator and let me try calling her again. Straight to voicemail. And she speaks Spanish. So the voicemail is like, you know, just her saying like in Spanish, you know, leave me a voicemail. I'm not here. I'm busy. Da, da, da. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I start getting a little antsy, a little frustrated. Fine. Oh my God, let me go outside. Let me just go outside. Let me just go with what I know. Because first of all, this is not even the building that I remember going to last time. So you know what? I'm just going to forget this building. I'm going to drive to where I know where she was the last time. And that's what I'm going to do. So I hit the elevator button. And now for some reason the elevator comes on time quicker. So I go downstairs. And I'm like, oh, forget it. This building is trash. I don't like this building. It's annoying. And it's stupid. And at this point I was just frustrated. So I go back down to my car and I locate her old address because that's what I had saved in my phone from before. Going there, at this point it's 18 minutes apart from this location. And I'm like, wow, now I'm gonna be like 20 minutes late. So I'm like, you know what, let me just call her as I'm on my way. And as soon as I pull out of my parking spot that I paid for, somebody pulls right behind me. And they take my spot that I paid for that has well over an hour of time left. Anyways, I'm like, you know what? Pay it forward, whatever. So I'm going to this new place. And it's rainy, you know? It's kind of gloomy. And I'm getting so frustrated. I'm like, oh my God, I can't reach her. Not only can I not reach her, but she's just not answering, no text messaging. I'm like, this must be the wrong number, or I just have no idea. But I'm like, I'm gonna go with what I know. And I'm like very positive, like, okay, she'll understand that I went to the wrong location. You know, she's very sweet that way. Okay, she'll understand. It's all good. Let's just go. 20 minutes late, you know, it sucks. I had all intentions of being early. It's okay. Let's just do this. I get to the other location, knock on the door that I know I'm familiar with. And then another woman answers. She's like, oh, hi. I'm like, hi. I'm so sorry I'm late. I went to a wrong location. Is Lydia here? And the girl goes, Lydia? Lydia changed locations. At that point, I'm like, wow. So the location I went to was correct. And then she's like, yeah, she's downtown now. She's no longer here. And she's like, did you try calling her? I'm like, yeah. I wanted to say that. But I was like, yeah, I tried calling her and I text her. She's like, okay, let me try. So she tries to call, nothing but voicemail. She's like, oh, wow. Yeah, she's downtown now. Maybe you could just go there. And I'm like, oh my God, I was just there. And she's like, yeah, there's an Instagram. She changed her location and there's a video of how to get to her new location from the building. So this girl shows me the Instagram and I'm like looking at the Instagram video on her phone and I'm like, that's the same elevator. That's the same building. But guess what? It's the elevator going down to the basement level. That's where her new location is, the basement level. So she's like, just go there, you know, maybe you can be squeezed in after her appointment, but she's no longer in this location. So I'm like, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate the video. I get in my car and I'm like welting. Like I can feel the anger just like coming up in me, and I could just feel me getting so frustrated, like, oh my gosh. I'm just like so frustrated at this point. So now I gotta go back to the location. And I'm just like, wow, this really sucks. How can I be so... And I didn't want to call myself stupid, but I'm like thinking like, oh my gosh, this is just ridiculous. So I go back to the original location. I don't get my parking spot. Of course not. And I end up having to go into a parking lot, which wants you to pay for parking, of course, naturally. And I go down to the basement level of the elevator. And at this point, I'm like 35 minutes late. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Go to the basement level. And then, yeah, sure enough, I see Eyebrows by Lydia. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. And I see Lydia. I'm like, Lydia, I've been trying to call you. I've been trying to text you. And I was here an hour ago and I went to the wrong location. And she's like, oh, I have it on my Instagram. And I'm like, I just don't have, like, I don't follow like that. I'm not on social media like that. And then she's like, oh, no, I'm so sorry. She's like, yeah, I changed locations and da-da-da-da. And then she's like, but I'm all booked up and you missed your appointment. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, I did miss my appointment. And she's like, well, we can reschedule you. Can you come back on whatever day? And I'm like, okay. Yeah, thanks. I got it. Thank you so much. And then I was like, do I have to pay for parking again? And then she's like, it gives you 30-minute free. So I'm like, okay, I'll come back. At that point, I leave. I'm like so defeated. I just feel so annoyed that I did all of that. And my mood went from 100 to 5 to 0 in a span of like an hour and a half. And I go in my car and I'm just like crying out of frustration. Not like boo-hoo, like come on now, guys. Just like you know, when you feel frustrated that you prepared, and it just didn't work out. And then it took me maybe like a few hours of just letting my frustration out, trying to listen to music, trying to think of what else I can do for my day. And I'm just like, wow, oh my God, this is just so stupid. Like, how can this happen to me? Like, what I prepared, like just going over everything in my head. And it wasn't until later that night when I'm journaling and I'm reading my Bible verse. And I'm like, wait a minute. I think I know what this is. This is a teaching from this book. This is a teaching from this book. It's called RAIN, the RAIN method. To recognize how you feel in that moment, accept how you feel in that moment, investigate why you're feeling that way, and nurture all those thoughts with compassion. And I realized that later in the day. And I was like, wow, RAIN. That's exactly what it is. What made me feel so sad and frustrated about myself, even though it was just a common natural mistake. There was nothing wrong with it. Everything got resolved. Yeah, I might have missed my appointment that day, but at least I got the video to understand how to get there for the next time. And it was just like, what did I need to learn that day? What was coming up? What feelings were coming up? And I realized it was the feeling of failure. Like my feeling of failure was popping up in me and making me so upset. And that didn't need to happen. It just, I'm not a failure. I've accomplished every single thing that I've set my mind to. Way bigger things that I've set my mind to. And I'm just not a failure. So it was like an old part of me was trying to solidify that I'm a failure when I'm not. And that just got me so frustrated. But when I sat down and I really thought and I really accepted how I felt, and I accepted the day for it was, accepted the day as it was, or for it was, I still had a great day. I learned something new. And when I started to approach my feelings with compassion, I started to feel better. And I started to learn the lesson and learn how I can control and have compassion towards my emotions and towards my feelings and towards myself. embrace that things happen, that we don't like that they happen, but I don't have to let the emotion of whatever happened control the rest of my day and control the outcome. And that hit me later. And it just made me remember what I read from this book. And I was like, wow, a rain lesson. And it was raining that day. And I was like, that's just so interesting. But basically the lesson is to understand that negative things are going to happen. You're going to feel emotional. You're going to feel trapped. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel stupid. You're going to feel unworthy. And know that all of those things are not true. Our body's just wired to protect ourselves in ways that we don't really understand, that maybe it's been wired from years ago or from when we were kids, right? Think about it. Think about how you're feeling. Accept how you're feeling in that moment. Ask yourself, investigate. Like, why am I feeling this way? Is there something else that's happening that's making me feel this way? Investigate. Find the polarity or the opposite of your feeling. Like if you're feeling fear, what's the opposite of fear? Maybe there's a meaning of protection, or maybe there's your body or your brain trying to protect you from something that doesn't exist. Like my feeling was the feeling of failure, defeat. Knowing that I've accomplished everything already. I've done so much in my life to this point. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Like, investigate why you're feeling that way. And then once you sit with that investigation, nurture those thoughts. Feel compassion for yourself. Tell yourself you're doing okay. It's okay to feel this way. I understand. And I appreciate my body for recognizing these thoughts and these emotions, but I'm going to let them be where they are, and we're going to move on, and that's okay. So it was a beautiful lesson. And a week later, I did go and I had my appointment, and she felt so bad that she didn't charge me for the appointment. She didn't charge me. She said, I feel so bad, and, I just feel like, you're a good customer. And I've only ever seen her one other time. It's not like we had a big repertoire or, whatever you want to call it. And she said, I'm not going to charge you for this appointment. And I was like, wow, that's so kind of you. And, I showed my gratitude, and I still gave her the amount that I would have been charged anyway as a tip. But it just goes to show you, it's okay to feel how you feel. And there's a bigger lesson in all of the emotions that we're feeling in this very moment. So just always remember that there's always a piece of you that is okay. There's always a piece of you inside of you that is okay. Thank you for listening, and have a beautiful day.